Well, welcome back to another episode of Roger Gets the Machine. I don't know which camera to look into, but I'll look at all of them. and today's episode, we got a super influential podcaster. We've seen him on Instagram, Rainey Ovalle, with the Victory Light podcast. Thank you so much for being on here, dude.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me. We were just talking about how, like, I appreciate when you can see, when you get in on a product on the ground floor, because it's more organic that way. Like, I fuck with your stuff. You clearly, you mess with my stuff. So it's like, it's dope when it happens that way. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. I was actually really, of all the podcasts we've shot, this is the one I was really looking forward to shooting because I've actually seen your pod clips and I was like, damn, this guy's really good at podcasting. And not even at podcasting, just really good at talking about things at the spur of the moment and making it look super organic. So
thank you.
Thank you so much for being on it.
Yeah, no, of course. The cheat code to that is sitting like this and then having my phone here out of sight so that I can refer. This is free game for any up and coming podcasters with shitty memory, with shitty short-term memory like me. What you do is you get your phone out, you get the document out, then you put it on your thigh, on the leg, so that it obscures the phone.
Oh my!
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have that shit right there, and you can refer back to it whenever. So I just don't want anybody to think that I'm some super genius podcaster. No, I got the cheat code in my lap, baby.
That's some bullshit.
Roger's like, well, now I feel betrayed.
All right, well, this has been a great episode. We'll see you guys.
Because I thought this was just a podcast pose, but there's a reason behind it.
There's a reason, dude.
Oh,
I'm saying,
yeah. Do you see my phone, Eric?
I do right now, yeah. Tiny bit. Tiny bit.
What about mine, Eric? What about mine?
Nah, yours is good. You're wearing all black. It kind of fades.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said,
just lift it up. Just put it.
Just have it right here the whole time. So it says here, icebreaker.
What are the icebreakers? Off the top of my head, real quick.
So
I'm working on it.
It's almost harder now because you got the phone in front of you. It's like pressure, you know?
I know.
The most recent thing that just happened, the Super Bowl.
Yes, the Super Bowl. The most recent thing that happened, the Super Bowl. What'd you think of the halftime show? That's what everybody's been bitching about recently. I thought it was great.
I thought it was great too, but there's a thread here.
Yeah.
We're both brown. And brown, black people resonate with a lot of that shit. And I feel like white people get in their bag about that shit all the time. They did the same shit to Beyonce, Usher, The Weeknd. Like every single time there's like a black or brown headliner, like white people get in their feelings and they get in their bag because it's not all American. It's not all about them. Despite, if you really think about that shit, like blackness, American blackness at least, is like the most American thing.
Right? Because you have to go through some shit.
You got to go through some shit. And also, like, this country was literally physically built by black hands. So it's like, you can't say that, like, I think it's, like, it's such a moot point when, like, when you have people like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to shade anybody that might be cool with one of y'all, but you have people like Theo being like, boring halftime show. And it's like, bro, we know why you saying that.
Yeah.
It's because you can't relate. You can't relate. Yeah. And that just is what it is. That just happens, and it happens that way a lot. So I'm genuinely not surprised.
It is a bummer to see him post that on Twitter. Like, he's getting so much flack because of the Trump stuff already. And it's like, all right, maybe he'll kind of like lean back a bit.
Right.
And then he says something like that, and it's, I mean, you're entitled to say that you're bored with it, but you can read between the lines with it a bit. I don't know. It's like a weird situation with Theo.
Yeah, it almost felt like it was inflammatory.
So that's the thing, right? It's like, it's tough for me, like just in my own head just like living with my own thoughts up here, because like you are entitled to not like something. Like you don't have to, like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like the optics make it worse than it probably is. Like, for all I know, Theo probably genuinely just didn't get it and was genuinely just kind of bored. But because of the optics of it, because of the fact that he's a white dude, you know what I mean? And he seems he toes the centrist line, you know what I mean? But then is more right-leaning sometimes, more left-leaning sometimes. Like, the optics of that is it's kind of wild, which is, and it's funny that we talk about that because I like your clips a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's almost harder now to do better comedy because I've watched your stuff, and when you're in somewhere like Jacksonville, Florida, you know what I mean? Because you toe that line too, like, but you do it in a way that's like tasteful and like not super crass. Like you say the things that people are thinking, but not in the way that like Alex Jones would say it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
You say the things that you say the things normal people are thinking. You know what I mean? Where it's like, hey, both sides kind of suck and here's why, but this side clearly got some bullshit going on. And like, I've noticed that it's harder to laugh at that stuff now because like, you don't ever have to go back to Jacksonville if you don't want to.
Correct.
But those people got to live there.
Yeah.
So if they laugh a little too hard at a Trump thing,
Yeah.
they got to go home to those people in the crowd.
Deal with their wife and their
You know what I'm
cousins
saying?
and stuff. Yeah.
So it's like, but it's cool that like you still find a way to win the room, and like you still find a way to get laughs, and like that shit is dope to me.
Thank you, man. Well, it took a while to kind of toe that line, and it's because there's in comedy there's different camps of people. There's camps that are like, you got to be likable, you got to win them over, you got to say what everybody wants, what everybody wants to hear. And then there's camps that are like, say what you feel, and then you'll get your own audience. And initially I started in camp 1, just saying what everybody wants to hear. I'll be like, I'll do the Indian accent, I'll do all this bullshit to get the laughs. But then eventually, the more and more I started saying what I actually feel, the more and more the audience that I was getting was the one I wanted.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're too malleable, then like you kind of lose, like I don't know you.
Yeah.
But it's like I feel like, for example, like Bill Burr, I feel like I know him because it's like he's like he's got that mass hole shit so fucking like down to a science.
For sure.
But it's not inorganic. Like you could tell he's not it's not an act. Even though it is like professionally, right? It's quite literally an act. He's on stage, it's a performance, but he's not playing a character. Like he's dead ass like that.
That's just Bill Burr.
Yeah. And I see a lot of that in you too, where it's like, yo, no matter what city you in, like, and I know from your footage, like they'll pan over to the crowd. Sometimes you'll put you on top in the crowd. And I'm like, bro, this is a sea of white. Like I'd be terrified.
Oh, dude, it is bright. You need sunglasses to perform in some of the places I've performed.
Yeah, dude. Middle of the night dive bar. You got the fucking Ray-Bans on. Like, holy shit, what's going on?
There's a reason. I'm not trying to be cool. I'm trying to preserve my sight.
Man.
But yeah, it gets scary. But and you'll always get that one person in the crowd that comes up to you after and be like, some of that stuff you said really offended me. Why don't you stick to what you know about being Indian? I'm like, that's the most racist shit I've ever heard of.
You're like, that's crazy. But then that's material.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, yo, people really be like that. Like,
people 100% be like that. And what do you do? All you do is you embrace it and you make the best of it. And you try to, like you said, get material out of it or do something with it. But yeah, going back to the halftime show thing, it was funny though, because like a lot of the people that were like upset about it were white people, like you said. But I feel like it's because of white girls that they did this halftime show.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Well, because you ever notice whenever we're at a bar or a club, the whiter the girl that walks up to the DJ booth, the blacker the song.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, when you see fucking like Ashley and pumpkin spice latte beer, you know she's requesting some Kendrick Lamar.
Oh my God, dude. Wow. Abercrombie Ashley is requesting 3-6 Mafia at the DJ.
100%.
Yo, she's holding up her phone like, play Project Pat. Like, yeah, yo, that's fucking crazy. Wow, dude, I'd never put that together.
Yeah. So it's probably all of their boyfriends who are like, I don't understand this. This makes no sense to me.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. They're going up there. Dude, that's so funny. They're probably going up there in I don't know, Lululemon and being like, yo, can play West Side Gun. Like, you know what I mean?
I love that jam.
Oh my God, I love that jam. Griselda. Wow, dude. You just opened my fucking eyes to something that I always knew was true, but I never verbalized it.
Oh yeah.
See, this is what I'm talking about. That's why you gotta fuck with Raj, bro. Raj tapped in for real. Like,
well, I noticed it because like when I first started dating my girlfriend, and my girlfriend is like cookie cutter white girl, you know, like,
Yeah.
like pumpkins, fall, like all the white shit.
Knitted scarves,
Yeah,
all that.
all that stuff.
I have seen Raj go on some pumpkin picking trips through Instagram.
Yeah. She's trying to appropriate me. Yeah. But we'll every time we go to a bar or whatever, we go to like a club or something, and I see her walk up to that DJ booth. I was like, all right,
Here we go. Yep.
Hardcore rap shit, real quick.
Yeah. I wonder why that. It's probably, you know what it is? I think it's a spectacle. It's a window. I think just by virtue of being women, I think that society lets them explore their tastes and their interests more so than men, because I feel like men, we have to be, there's only really one way we are allowed to be, and I think a lot of that has to do with like suppressing emotions and suppressing our interests and valuing what we have to do more than what we want to do.
Ooh.
Whereas like women, I think, have a little bit more space, emotionally anyway, to explore their interests and be a little more, you know what I mean, and be a little more adventurous with it. So I think like the reason I think so many white women are like into rap and stuff is because like I feel like it's like a window into a different world for them. A lot of the time, I'm gonna say the quiet part out loud. A lot of the time, it's fetishizing.
Oh,
it's fetishizing
100%.
black culture,
Yeah.
fetishizing black men, fetishizing that gangsta shit, fetishizing the struggle. But I have seen it go the other way, where it's like, yo, this is just like interesting and cool and different. And like I feel like we don't men whatever like men. If you grew up in hip hop, then like you're kind of taught like by the people around you or whoever that like, okay, we listen to hip hop over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or if you like Nashville or wherever or Jacksonville, like we listen to country over here. Don't play none of that other shit. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of very much like a fraternal in that way.
Yeah, it's almost like a pride. It's almost like this is who we are.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with this.
Yeah, and if you break out of that mold or whatever, like we not fucking with you.
Yeah.
So,
That's true. Yeah, and but I also sometimes think it might be a little privilege.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
Might be a little bit of privilege there.
Yeah, definitely too. Because it's like, yo, I come from this. I have no choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you could turn the Wu-Tang off and then go to your fucking and then go to your cafe job. This shit. Yeah, for sure. For sure. But the halftime show was it was dope to me. Like that shit was dope to me. I feel like he didn't necessarily like The Weeknd, a lot of spectacle. Beyonce, a lot of spectacle. Like, but that's because there's like there is more theater involved. I think just in terms of The Weeknd as an artist and Beyonce as an artist, there's more theater involved inherently. Yeah. Versus Kendrick, who is a student of the game.
Oh yeah.
And Kendrick, it's all
content.
voice. It's all like I don't think people understand. Listen, as a rapper myself, I don't think y'all understand how difficult it is to go 15 minutes straight and like barely get a fucking break. Like my brother's breath control.
Yeah.
Astronomical. So that's why I can't fathom somebody being like, boring halftime show.
Yeah.
Like, you know? But
If anything, this was probably the least boring halftime show I've ever seen.
in a while.
It's spectacle-wise, maybe.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't glitzy. There wasn't flashy shit going on. But like the shit he was spitting for how long he was spitting, like that's impressive, dude. Yeah. Nobody, like you said, nobody could do that.
Yeah. A lot of people can't fathom that shit for real.
Yeah.
But I do think there's like a disconnect between, it's kind of like what Rainey said. There are white people that obviously are just upset with the black guy performing or whatever. But then like my mother, she's pretty conservative. Well, I don't know, conservative, Republican, whatever you want to say. But she texted me and she's like, so what's like genuinely curious? Like what is the big deal with the halftime show? So like I try to explain to her and like now she's kind of into it. I think without
she's into Kendrick?
Not into Kendrick, but she's into like the whole
The
Drake,
message,
the
the
Drake
idea.
thing. I don't know if she's into the message. I tried to explain to her. She was, I was like,
It's weird, it's gay, it's too black, I don't get it.
I did try to say, well, some of the messages like America's built on the backs of black people, and she was like, yeah, so what? But and then I was like, all right, let's go back to the Drake stuff. Anyways, but yeah, I'm to finish off. I think there's just a disconnect of it could be an age thing. Like people may genuinely not know his songs. Like even before he was performing, I was at like a family event a couple weeks prior, and they were like, I don't even know who this guy is, and I'm like, this guy had the biggest song in like the last 20 years. It's like a cultural phenomenon.
Two Americas, man.
Yeah.
Two Americas.
Yeah.
Some people don't know who Kendrick Lamar is, and I have no fucking clue who Jelly Roll is.
Yeah, I have no idea who Jelly Roll is.
Who the fuck is Jelly Roll? Like I feel like they just make like. I remember it was the Grammys or the whatever the award show before the Grammys was.
I
don't remember
the
which
award show or whatever.
Something.
Oh no! Oh, like the actual award show before the Grammys.
Yeah, like whatever that was. Oh, it was the country. I think it was the Country Music Awards
The
or something.
CMTs. Yeah.
And people just kept listing off names like, and Jelly Roll and Gillis McGillicuddy shows up at and I'm like, who the fuck are these people, bro? So I do understand it to an extent because I am on the other side of that. I have no fucking clue. None of these folks are.
Yeah. We had a couple of episodes ago, one of our guests was like this big gay redneck, and he said one of his nicknames was Jelly Hole because he looked like
God, dude.
And I was like, I find that funny, but I don't know who Jelly Roll is. Yeah.
That's fucking genius. Jelly Hole?
Jelly Hole. That's pretty funny. I think it's pretty funny.
My God.
Kind of gross. The last thing I want in a hole is jelly.
Oh my God. Amazing. I love that shit.
Especially a dude hole.
Come on. Yeah.
But yeah, well, to be honest, like I also didn't understand. I'm not a huge Kendrick Lamar fan. I didn't understand like the beef with Drake. I didn't understand the nuances and politics around this halftime show. But I still appreciate it for what it was.
Yeah.
Like I didn't immediately hate on it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's cool. I didn't get it, but it was cool.
Yeah.
But other people are like, that sucked. I didn't get it. That sucked. And I was like, that's a crazy perspective to have on it.
Yeah.
You know?
So a quick little crash course on the beef for anyone uninitiated who listens to this podcast or is watching right now. Kendrick Lamar and Drake had a relationship early on in Kendrick's career when he was sort of starting to take off and building up to his first studio album, which I think was Good Kid, Mad City, or that was his second one, actually. Section 80 was his first. But anyway, he had Drake featured on there, and Drake would do what Drake does, which is really just kind of shoehorn in like, yo, this guy's the greatest. I fuck with him so much. That's my brother for real. Right? So then, a couple years later, or actually that same year, in 2011, Kendrick Lamar drops a verse on a song by Big Sean called Control. And in that verse, he's calling out rappers by name. And he's saying like, Wale, Drake, Big Crit, like people that he respects, essentially. And he's like, yo, I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder y'all. Make sure your fans don't hear another noun or verb from y'all. So the only person to take that shit to heart was Drake. Everybody else that they interviewed about this shit and they asked about this shit was like, that's love. That's the name of the game. Like, this is rap. This is the sport.
Wow.
And Drake has had a chip on his shoulder about that shit since 2011. Then, at a BET cypher, Kendrick drops the line, nothing been the same since they dropped Control and tucked the sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes. Ooh. He did that shit in front of a live audience and the whole world on the internet. Yeah. Drake didn't like that shit, and it has been a silent back and forth ever since of them just kind of silently jabbing at each other. And then like the history and the politics of this shit is so insane to the point where like, for example, like Drake had this really embarrassing moment with Rihanna at the Grammys where he sort of confessed his love to her on stage and shit. Super weirdo vibes. On the following album, Kendrick has Rihanna as a feature.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like this motherfucker, Kendrick is a sick fuck, bro. Like he's 5'5" and insane. Yes. Like I don't think, and in the album before this one on Mr. Morale in the Big Steppers, he has a hook where he's like, stop playing with me before I turn you to a song.
Oh shit.
And he's so it's been this silent back and forth until it came to a head on Like That.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, like for all your dogs getting buried, you gonna see Pet Cemetery. And he was like, yo, just and also on the album before that on oh my God, what is it? On Damn. He was like, yo, just say his name and I promise that you'll see Candyman. And Drake said his name. Sure enough, he fucking saw Candyman. So
oh my God.
That's a little crash course on the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef. There's way more to it, but you're welcome, friends.
So basically what I'm getting from this is Kendrick Lamar started this shit.
Low key, if that is a perspective. Yeah, that is a perspective.
He started it and he
fucking finished it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's and then it's I mean it's crazy, but then also like did Drake respond to this? Did Drake do anything since it happened?
No.
Since the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think he directly responded. I think he had a concert at the same time, and maybe he like threw a line in that I didn't really catch. I saw a couple of videos on TikTok, but I don't think he really like acknowledged it much.
I think he said something to the effect of like, look at me, I'm still alive. Check your boy, he never died. Or something like that.
Wow.
And he also did like a walkout at one of his shows wearing a hoodie with smoking bullet holes, which is the most. Hey, I said this on Victory Lap. I'm saying it again. Drake, you're killing us light skins, bro. You're killing us, bro. You gotta. The light skin antics is getting crazy. You're rivaling LL Cool J right now. Okay, like.
Oh yeah, he's not cool. We don't. Yeah, LL Cool J is far from cool.
Dude, LL Cool J. Do you remember Deep Blue Sea?
Oh, I love that movie.
I love that movie too.
It's a great movie.
Do you remember the soundtrack and the video?
I don't remember the soundtrack of the video.
They had LL Cool J in a leather harness with exposed nipples.
Oh.
In a pool full of 3D sharks. And I'm like, what?
That was badass. I probably saw that when I was younger, and I was like, that's fucking badass.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Wow, that's where that fucking leather vest and nipples exposed thing started.
Yeah.
It's like all the boy bands and shit were doing that in the early 2000s.
It was LL, man. LL, like, yeah, he's really like that, to quote Kendrick Lamar. But yeah, Drake, man, not good PR for the light skins, brother. You gotta settle down, my dog.
Yeah, this guy's gotta stop fucking kids. And
oh my god. Fuck.
So, I mean, I don't even know the pedophile stuff, right? But like I guess Kendrick Lamar was wearing the lowercase a for the A minor thing,
The A minor bar, yeah.
Well, before you go, I did hear that, but apparently that's not what that.
Oh, is that not what that is?
Is that not just the PG Lang A?
It's something. Yeah, I don't know what that is. You probably would know more about that, but I read that today. That's not. It might have been maybe a double entendre. Maybe that's what he was going for, but that wasn't what it was.
Well, I have for my sons, I have a G on the side of my head tattooed.
Oh, sick.
And it's actually uppercase and lowercase to represent the older and younger brother.
That's awesome.
Because both their names start with a G.
Yeah.
So I interpreted that as like Drake's son's name is Adonis.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, and the worst thing, maybe the best thing, depending on who you ask, about Kendrick is that he's not gonna confirm or deny anything.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna let shit float in the wind and let shit be what it is. Mm-hmm. So my interpretation of that might have been like, yo, is this a lowercase a like, yo, your little man, Adonis, is my son now. I got his letter wrapped around my neck on the fucking biggest stage in the world in front of 150 million, however many viewers it is. Sick fuck, dude. He's a
crazy.
Sick fuck.
I love it.
Yeah, that's energy for real.
I feel like that's kind of the beauty of the performance in general, because when you're watching
the ambiguity, you mean?
Yeah, when you're watching it, you're like, okay, this is not like grandeur. There's not like any fireworks, nothing crazy is really happening. It's just him and the dancers, and then it's just one of those things where you're watching it after, and you're just seeing everyone's interpretation of whatever the message is.
Yeah,
I feel like you don't do that with like you kind of did it with The Weeknd, but like Rihanna and Beyonce, I'm not necessarily sure or remember them having like.
Oh, Beyonce got ripped to shreds. Remember?
Yeah.
She had the whole Black Panther march.
Okay. So
like, you know what I'm saying?
So never mind what I just said.
Yeah, she did. You can fact check me on this, but she performed "America Has a Problem" with like the whole troupe of like militant. You know what I'm saying? You remember that?
I remember.
Yeah, she got fucking ripped apart for that shit. The racists did not like that shit at all.
They did not like it, but I've watched that halftime show quite a few times. Jerked off to it.
Oh my God. Okay, Raj. This has been a great episode.
Well, no, Beyonce. She looked pretty damn good in that one.
But to move on.
Anyway.
There were. I had a lot of. I had a couple of I saw a lot of left-leaning friends of mine that were upset that Kendrick didn't take the opportunity to take any shots at Trump because he was present. I don't know, like, what are your thoughts? What's everyone's thoughts on that?
Even if Kendrick did take shots at Trump, they wouldn't have been good. So why are they upset that?
So my take is that the whole performance was kind of that.
A shot at Trump.
Yeah, it's not like the 1930s Olympics where it's like a very clear and distinct, like, yo, this black man is smoking y'all on this track.
In Berlin,
and also, fuck you, Hitler. Like, that's the, like, black gold medal on a black man defeating Germans in Germany in front of this guy. Like, that's very clearly that. But I think we're past that point just in general. Like, I think that people in general have more wherewithal and just are generally sharper. And I think for me personally, I think the whole performance was a jab at Trump. Like, having the dancers in American flag colors, having all of them be visibly black, dark skinned, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Samuel L. Jackson is Uncle Sam.
Yeah. Who was also a literal Black Panther. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if he was involved with MLK somehow. Like, I'm pretty sure he was like an altar boy at like MLK's wedding or some shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like it was some shit like that. Like, Eric, if you want to look it up, but like but his mom, like, or he himself was a Black Panther. So like, it's Kendrick, man. Like, it's subtext. You know what I mean? Subtext.
Yeah.
Like, I think that whole performance was a jab at Trump.
Yeah, exactly. Like, once again, I didn't know about the Drake and Kendrick beef. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is a political statement. And it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
He was a member of the Black Panthers.
Okay.
Yeah, Samuel Jackson. Yeah.
But sorry, you go ahead, Raj.
No. I was just going to say, like, to me, it felt like a political statement. So, like you said, I felt the whole thing was a jab at our current political situation. Maybe not directly at Trump.
Yeah.
Well, indirectly at Trump, but what our politics has come to nowadays. And I thought this was a super bold statement of like not a single white person on that floor.
Yeah.
And you know, with all the stuff that's happening with DEI and immigration and stuff, I think it's really important to show that people of color are here. We're staying. We are valuable. We need to be here. And that's what I took from it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I just hate the sentiment that it should have been directed towards Trump, because the message, I feel like, would stay the same had Biden still been president and attending the game. Like, it's not they're two, you know, not to say they're two sides of the same coin, but they kind of are.
Yeah, going back to Raj's comedy, like that's kind of the whole point. It's like, guys, like, one of them is playing in our face, the other is playing behind our backs. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like that meme of like the gay flag on the drone bomber. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. There is a fundamental issue. You know what I mean? It's not like one guy versus another. One guy is clearly worse. But
they're both bad.
There's still issues here. You know, and like you were mentioning, like the whole DEI thing. I think tinfoil fitted time. I think that the push for DEI as the newest right wing sort of buzzword. They're trying to do the same thing that they did with MLK and Malcolm X and the civil rights movement, where all the pictures printed in all the textbooks are in black and white to try and make it seem like it was further back than it was. I think they're doing something similar with DEI and not saying what it means and not writing out the full phrase. And always reducing it down to the acronym, because it's easier to accept when people are against it. But if you, like, DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Why would you not want that?
Right, exactly.
I think that's an insane... I think that's a wild thing to be against, you know? And I think it's easier to be against that when you only ever see it typed out as an acronym.
As DEI, you know? That's so true, yeah. But, you know, going to the DEI thing, there have been some statements that I've heard where, you know, and what's Trump's new White House press secretary? What's her name?
Oh, shit. I'm not...
I got you figured out.
I'm not remembering, but Eric over there, Eric over there is like Wade from Kim Possible. Just like, I'm on it.
Well, whatever. She's pretty hot. But but she.
Oh
So
my
I
God.
listen to her when she speaks.
Caroline Levitt? Levy?
Caroline Levitt. Yeah.
Mm.
So she was saying something about like somebody was mentioning about that plane that crashed in Washington,
Mm.
and then they were tying it to DEI, which I think was fucked up that they were tying that politically, literally like the day of. But one thing she did say, which I was like, oh, she just made every fucking right wing conservative come in their pants, was she said something along the lines of like, well. Do you want that pilot to be trained and land properly, or do you want that pilot to be have a different skin color than you?
Yeah.
And like in that instance, yeah, I guess your DEI example works.
Yeah.
But that's such a small percentage of
Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense in the real world.
Yeah, because in the real world, like there was this viral clip that went around about this black pilot who has braids or locks, but in a twist.
Yeah.
He has a diamond grill, and he's like, "Yo, just landed safely. God bless us. Like God protect us. You know what I'm saying? Like we live every day. You know what I'm saying? Like thanking God. You know what I'm saying?" Then the internet cooked him, and like obviously that side of the internet was like, "Oh, I don't want my pilot to look like this. I think this is super unprofessional." And Black Twitter weighed in and was like, I don't think you guys understand. For him to look like this at this job, he has to be the best of the
Amazing.
best.
Yeah.
For them to hire him and him to be visibly black with the retwist and the locks and the diamond grill, the fact that they trust that man to fly them planes, despite the way he looks, he's the fucking top 0.1%.
Yeah.
Like because they don't. In a white supremacist landscape dominated by those people, they're not going to hire that guy unless he is qualified and even above qualified. So I think her argument falls apart in my opinion in that instance.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, do you want the person to look like you? It's like, well, no, that's not what we're saying. We're saying that like, if it's between two people that are equally qualified, maybe give it to the guy who has less likelihood of getting a job at another airline.
Yeah. You
know?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole argument of like, people should be hired based on merit, not on their skin color. But systematically, people with different skin colors have not even been able to get to that job application.
Yeah.
So I think, fine. Maybe we can get rid of DEI in like 15 years or 20 years when we fix it from the ground up.
Yeah, exactly.
But until that happens, I don't think we're at the point to just completely get rid of it.
Yeah. And also, it's not black people's fault for being born black. It's companies' fault. It's the hiring manager's fault. Whoever it is, if it's your responsibility as a hiring manager or whatever to hire the people that are most qualified, whether they happen to be black or white or whatever. It's not that person's fault if you are making the choice to hire them based on skin color so that you can check off a box at your year-end review. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
it's like that's not the fault of the
person.
of the marginalized person. That's your fucking fault because you thought it was more important to check off a box than it was to hire someone based on merit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's so true. Yeah. It actually falls on the employer.
Yeah, it falls on the employer. What the fuck? How's it my fault? Then I like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how's it my like? I'm just here, bro. I need a job. Like,
Yeah. I applied.
What the fuck?
You could say no.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's true. But yeah. Sorry.
No, we're good. I was just gonna not to jump off of that, not about race or anything, but Trump did just ban women from competing in women's sports, trans women from competing in women's sports, and yeah, I've been arguing with my friends who think it was the right call. My argument was that it's just not actually happening, so we're banning something that isn't actually a problem, but. I'm interested to hear what your takes are.
Yeah. So it hasn't been a problem. Wait, wasn't there that one swimmer who?
Leah Thomas.
Yeah, Leah
So
Thomas.
in March 2022, Leah Thomas won the 1,650-yard freestyle at the NCAA championships. And Thomas is a transgender woman and became the first openly transgender athlete to win the NCAA division. Naturally, that made people upset. But it made people upset that don't give a fuck about swimming and like don't understand the intricacies of the sport.
Right.
And so this narrative started that she cooked everybody and smoked the competition. She won by 38 seconds.
Yeah, but I mean,
Is that like,
I feel like in swimming, 38 seconds is a pretty big
That's-
amount of time to win by.
well, you see what, but see, you see what I mean? Like, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
it's not like I follow swimming. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
So
right,
it's like, so to me though, I don't know. I mean, to me, it didn't seem like a lot, but I mean,
I guess
I don't know.
the argument is, how often does a trans woman actually win within a woman's sport that it should be considered an issue? Because my understanding is that they go to the doctor, they make sure their levels are at a certain, their levels of estrogen or whatever. We're dumb on this podcast. I don't know.
Yeah.
Their levels of estrogen or whatever are at the same level as
a cis female
born.
Yeah.
So it's even playing field for that. I mean, I don't. We're having a discussion. We're not giving absolutes here.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, so I'm pro-trans. I'm an ally. I do, I'm a big fan of all these people, but I do feel like on a physiological level, on an anatomical level, there is a little bit of an advantage for a male genetic body to be in a female sport.
Yeah.
Now, do I think that this was a huge enough deal to make it national policy quite yet, and to make it like a buzz topic for people to talk about? I don't think we're there yet.
I don't think. I mean, I agree. I think that, and as someone who is openly pro-trans, openly like pro-sex work, like you know what I'm saying, like pro-women, pro-black, all of that, and like I go by my real name on my socials. Like I stand on what the fuck I say, like all the time.
Yeah.
And I do agree. I don't think that admitting that trans women are simply different from cis women, I don't think that is inherently transphobic. I think that, in fact, that's like how we start to have healthier conversations around trans identity and around transness and stuff. But I'm some cis guy, you know what I mean? So like, maybe go talk to a trans person about this, you know what I mean? Like maybe it would probably be better if we had a trans person here with us. But you got two guys who are not on the volatile fucking incendiary side of the fence. So that speaks for something to me, I guess. So But what I will say is that, here's the thing though. According to this article by The Independent, our bodies retain the capacity to respond to new hormones in adulthood. So HRT, or hormone reassignment therapy, causes radical changes to a person's secondary sex characteristics. So in the womb, we all start off female, and then we don't develop a penis till later. That's why men have nipples. Because we all start off as the girlies.
That's why my penis isn't still fully developed.
You know what I'm saying? It takes time. It takes time. But for trans women, so essentially, the longer you're on HRT, the more feminine you get. Your bone density decreases. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's crazy. Like, if you actually looked into the science, this is some like 2001 Space Odyssey shit that we have figured out. Like, and it's like you're saying, we're not there yet. We're not at a point where somebody who just started HRT is getting in the octagon with the cis woman and pummeling her, like beating the fucking absolute dog shit out of her. Like that's not where we at.
Yeah.
I think that there is room to let this
play
be,
out a little.
let this play out and let this be what it is a little bit. For sure.
Yeah. There hasn't been any instances besides this Leah Thompson swimming instance. There hasn't really been any instances to make me feel like we need to start writing some policy about this, right?
They're also, we're talking about 1% of the population.
Exactly.
Right.
But that's trans in general.
Yeah.
Now,
that's what I'm saying.
Out of that 1%,
there's 1% of that.
I think there's less than 100 people in the NCAA.
Right. Total. Yeah.
And I think one trans woman on like the female on one of the female basketball teams, I believe. I was reading it yesterday because we were arguing about it, but But yeah, we're talking about 1% of the population, and again, we don't obviously whatever we don't know what we're talking about. But from my understanding, it's not like they're just. If we all just decided that we were trans, they wouldn't just let us all in the door.
Yeah.
There is some sort of a process that you have to go through.
There is a ladder
before you can just go and play basketball with a bunch of women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You do still have to qualify.
Yeah, you still have to qualify, and also, like you said, this needs some time to breathe. You know, Like for example, if we did this back in the day, whenever the first black person played baseball, and then all of a sudden we started putting laws into place, we'd have no black athletes today.
Yeah, and also basketball would be the most swaggerless sport in the world.
Basketball would suck.
Basketball would suck. They'd still be playing. They'd be playing in fucking. They'd be playing in Lee jeans and shit.
Yeah,
they'd still be doing underhanded free throws and shit. There would never be a fadeaway again.
There'd be a lot of high
Oh
fives.
my, yeah, there'd be a lot of Jiminy Cricket. God damn it, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, I'm like, yeah, but yeah, to that point, it's like, yeah, you do still have to qualify for these things, and like, I think the main problem is that a lot of these conversations around trans people, around black people, around gay people, around all this stuff is being led by the most vocal people as opposed to the most qualified people.
Correct. Yeah.
On the internet, people will listen to the loudest person, but ignore the most qualified. Mm-hmm. They'll listen to the most volatile opinion versus the most informed.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't personally I don't give a fuck how you feel about this shit, because you don't give a fuck about swimming, really.
Yeah.
You took the opportunity to dunk on a trans person. I'm not stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just unfortunate that most people are. So they're just gonna listen to the loudest motherfucker in the room.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it's so crazy the amount of transphobia there was that even when two women kicked each other's ass, what was that one match that happened like a year ago, that UFC fight where one woman pummeled the shit out of the other one, but then everybody was like, she's trans. She's a man.
Yeah. This transvestigation shit. And then there was a runner too out of like, it was like Gambia or something. Like she's somewhere out of Africa. And they were like, you remember what I'm talking about? Yeah. And they wanted to like do like they tested her for like testosterone or some shit. Like this, like this shit is getting ridiculous,
it's
bro.
Getting
like
absolutely insane.
Like that is a woman. What the fuck? You guys ever heard of Grace Jones? What the fuck are we talking about, bro?
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if in the future somebody just like pulls their pants
Oh
down.
my god, dude! Like
I knew it.
Yeah, and it's like, it's so fucking dumb, and I think like all this shit is just a ruse, man. All this shit is a ruse. It's all a distraction to get us all fighting each other, because it's like easier to control a populace that is at each other's throats.
Exactly.
Versus like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this guy? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, why is Elon Musk in the White House?
I have no idea.
You are South African, bro.
Yeah.
Go figure that shit out over there.
Yeah.
Why are you in Germany? Why are you on a Zoom call with Germany?
Yeah, he's on a Zoom call with Germany with the hard alt-right party over there. And his family benefited from apartheid. Like, he comes from really bad stuff.
Really sick, really satanic black magic, sick shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's where we should be directing our shit to. But people at large need an enemy. People at large need an enemy.
Yeah.
And that enemy is Palestinians, and we're here to take over Gaza and make it into a Golf.
Ooh, right, like
that's a clip.
Make it into a golf course and shit. That is a clip for sure.
It's great. I put the camera right on me
because there was
too.
there was like no sarcasm in that, which I heard, but I don't think anybody else would.
Yeah. That's the clip.
Clip it, dude.
That's the clip. Yeah. And shout out to speaking of Gaza and Palestine and Sudan, shout out to that protester at the halftime show who ran across the stage with the flag, just with a heart that said Gaza, a heart that said Sudan. Shout out to you, bro. If my information is correct, he was released on no charges.
Oh, good.
So
Good.
you know, there is silver lining there. There is some solidarity out there. The fact that person was willing to take that risk and stand for something.
Yeah.
My
I didn't
shit is
actually. Did they show a clip of it on TV? Okay, because I saw. Yeah, well, that's balls, man. To protest that shit at the Super Bowl.
Fucking Super Bowl, hell yeah.
Where did the Super Bowl take place? In
New Orleans.
In New Orleans,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing. One of the blackest cities in the country. There's no way Kendrick's gonna come out there and not say something, or not allude to a message. Like, you know what I mean? Like, especially Trump sitting up there.
Heck yeah.
There was no, like, come on. If you watched that halftime show and didn't interpret anything Kendrick did as a message, I said this on Victory Light, we do tend to attribute a lot of sort of this unspoken genius to Kendrick Lamar, and he has spent 4 or 5 albums begging us not to do that. Like, he is just some guy at the end of the day. He is just a man, and he is not our savior, but we still continue to do that. That doesn't mean that he's not saying anything.
Yeah,
but
true.
I do think that it does. There needs to be room for, like, that. We need to dial the deification of Kendrick Lamar back a little bit. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he has been saying that he's not like this genius, but that move that he did at the Super Bowl wasn't genius. It was pretty blatant.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and as you'd have to be fucking dumb to not
to not get it,
to not see it. Yeah, like,
yeah. Or just again to America's, or just like not tapped in at all.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
yeah.
Because
or blind, like purposely blind.
Yeah,
like you don't want to see it.
Yeah, you don't want to see it. You're selectively ignorant to it. Yeah, definitely.
Was that person was a dancer, correct?
The protester?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
he must have been to be on the field.
Yeah, from my understanding, it was somebody that was a dancer, which is crazy. It's like you practiced for months for this performance just to fucking book it in the middle of it.
Well, but that just goes to show like how deeply it was a him, right? How deeply it was a dude.
I think, I
looks
believe
that
so.
way. Yeah, I think so.
It looks. It just goes to show how deeply he feels about the situation.
For sure. Like, willing to risk that much about it.
Yeah, to go through the choreography, to do all of this, to just do this
and not say a word to anyone. And just be like, all right, I'm on a mission. Fuck it, let's go.
Well, I guess to tie it in before, just what are your thoughts on the whole Gaza situation and Trump trying to make it ours?
Fuck him.
Yeah. 100%.
Fuck you, dude. Like, fuck you. You want to protect free speech, right, Trump? That's what you said at your inauguration. Fuck you, bro. Palestinians deserve a place to live. They was there before y'all.
Yeah.
This whole shit started in the... Let's do away with the narrative that all this shit started... Hamas started it on October 7th.
No, this shit started way before.
The periodicals exist. Go to a library before Trump bans that shit too. Go to a library, look up old newspapers, look up the key words. They started annexing Palestine in the fucking 40s, bro. This shit is not new. This shit did not just start. Farah Palestine, bro, man. Stop playing with me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's kind of fucked up that he said that out loud. I mean, even if you think it crazy, but to say that out loud is fucking insane.
In that position?
In that position?
Is insane.
He's also like he's sitting next to Netanyahu and he's like gaslighting the world. He's like, yeah, the place looks really shitty right now. It's just all rubble. And you're like,
yeah, who did that?
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck?
Wait, like, a place that's been bombed with 70 tons of bombs looks shitty?
That's interesting. Well, how did that happen? The fuck are we talking about, bro? Like, I don't know.
And before anybody like sees this clip and sees that we're talking about this, we're aware that Biden was in power
yeah, of course.
Like, but it's still
they're all complicit.
They're all complicit.
They're all explicitly responsible. Like, it's crazy that this shit, and also it's a history of repeating itself. We've been here before.
Yeah.
We've been here before. We saw the shit in Warsaw. We saw the shit like, you know what I mean? Like, and also this idea that like wanting kids and innocent people not to be systemically eradicated and quite literally genocided. This idea that that's some sort of radical stance is insane to me.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane that that's a radical stance. Like
Yeah.
that's just basic human nature.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's-
we should want to not want this to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. But turning that into a beachfront property, I mean, that's such. I can't even understand why someone would say that out loud.
I legit hope that anyone, like, first of all, Fatah Palestine once again, but.
Yeah.
I really legit hope that doesn't happen. But if it does, I hope that anyone and everyone that occupies those properties is so spiritually just so drained
Yeah.
by all those like restless fucking souls that like that place is not gonna be pleasant for y'all.
No,
And I really hope it fucking isn't. Like, as somebody who is like spiritually tapped in like that, the amount of pain in that place is going to be fucking palpable. And I hope you motherfuckers never sleep.
Yeah.
I hope y'all never get rest out there, because y'all don't fucking deserve it. Free Palestine, free Gaza. You know what I'm saying? Free Sudan, like all that shit, man. Like, I hope y'all never rest.
I agree with you 100%. It's hard to turn this topic funny. I've been thinking about how there's.
Go on. Try something right now on the spot.
On the spot, let's go.
You got 4 minutes left. Hit us with your best one right now.
Honestly, the whole time while Rainey was talking, I was like, where's there a joke in here?
Where's there a joke in here? That's crazy, man. Well, I mean, we could talk about the art of the bomb.
The art of the bomb. Yeah, actually, hold on, wait. Eric, you were giving me the thumbs up because we're supposed to be wrapping up?
We are, yes.
Okay, so why don't we talk about the art of the bomb and then close out?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Give me yours, because all the clips I've seen of you are great. So, but I mean, I'm sure you're not gonna post your fucking yeah.
I mean, actually, that's a pretty good idea. Maybe I should just post all my bombs.
Yeah.
I'll have a heck of a lot more content. But speaking of bombs, let's talk about.
Oh fuck, man!
Fuck.
Jesus Christ,
I'm trying
Raj.
to transition.
You got it. That was what
You got it.
That's what you wanted.
But goddamn, man.
I've bombed pretty hard doing stand up, and you said you've dabbled in it for a little bit, right?
Yeah, people have been encouraging me to try it, so I did on 2 occasions. So it's like 2 sides of the same coin. It's like the first time I did it ever, it went so well. It was at an open mic. I got 5 minutes, and it was in the Bronx.
Ooh.
So it's my home turf, right? Because that's where I'm from. So I did a lot of Bronx shit, and I'm Dominican. There's mad Dominicans there. So I did a lot of Bronx shit, a lot of Dominican shit, like, topical regional shit.
Yeah.
And it went over really well. Then I did a set in Jersey.
Okay.
Here's the thing, though.
White jersey, Hispanic
Like,
jersey, black
Jersey
jersey.
City.
Oh, okay.
Jersey City,
All right.
yeah. But
mixed jersey.
Mixed jersey,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So here's the thing, though. In the Bronx, like, those 5 minutes, like, I was one of maybe 2 comedians, like, on the lineup, or 3. I don't remember. Or 4. It might have been 4. But the show in Jersey City was a lot longer. There was way more people on the bill. And I fucking went last.
Oof.
And I know you know what this is like. You ever go last on a lineup and every fucking body went over?
Oh, that's the worst.
Everybody went over their
Yeah.
time. So now your 5 minutes is like 3.5.
Oh, yeah.
And then in that 3.5, you gotta try to be funny. You gotta try to set some shit up. You gotta try to win the room. And it just did not work.
And let me guess, the people before you went over because they were
They were
bombing.
funny. No, because they were
funny.
hilarious,
Okay,
dude.
Okay.
They were killing it. They were crushing it. So imagine ending on me, a low note. Bro, it's funny. The time that I did really well, I was like, I got this shit in the bag, man.
Yeah.
Then the time I did super bad, like I bombed crazy hard, I was like, yo, I have so much respect for comedians, like more. Like I think everybody should try it. I think everybody should get up there and get on stage so that you can see this shit is not fucking easy.
This shit sucks. It fucking kills you. So that's your worst bomb.
Yeah,
when you went
yeah.
last and you did 3.5. Yeah. That's pretty typical for comedians though. Like, to be honest with you, like for the first 2 years of doing stand-up, I bombed consistently.
Yeah.
Every single time I kept going up until one day, I think over the course of those 2 years, I guess maybe I was making mental notes.
Yeah.
And then it literally just happened overnight where one day I bombed and then the next day I killed.
Yeah.
And then I just consistently started doing better. But that's how I knew that comedy was for me.
Yeah.
Because like when I tried out for the football team and I got my ass handed to me in high school,
Yeah.
I quit the team the next day.
You were like, fuck this. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be the funny Indian guy, man. I'm not gonna be the brolic, the athletic Indian. Like, we're not doing that.
It's
Like,
not for me. You know, I quit that shit so fast.
Yeah.
But comedy, I got my ass handed to me 2 years in a row. And I
Shit,
kept
man.
going back. You know?
That's how you know you love some shit. You know?
But my worst bomb, it was actually during Trump's first administration when he got into office and they were doing that Muslim ban.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah. And I remember I was at Gotham Comedy Club and I was doing a show where I was doing a joke about how like everybody's all up in arms about the Muslim ban, and then my liberal friends will call me and they're like, "Dude, you okay?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm fucking Indian, man."
Yeah. Like, I'm not even. Yeah, like that's not even me for real.
Yeah. Then I'd be like, Trump wants to get rid of. I don't know, like. Trump just wants to get rid of some of them. You should talk to my grandma. She wants to get rid of all of them. But
that's funny though, because like we be our own worst enemy a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Dominican, so like every time I have a bad experience with anyone, what's the first thing an immigrant parent says? What race were they?
Exactly. I always
Why
say
is that a thing?
I always say there's no more racist people than brown people are to other brown people.
Dude, it's crazy. Like my mom, my stepdad, like they'll always be like, like if I say I had a bad experience, like back in the old days before Uber, they were like, you know, they'd ask me, "Oh, did you make it home? Like how did you get home? The train?" And I'd say, "Oh no, I had some extra money. I took a cab." How much did they charge you? Oh, it was $15. And they would be like, 15 from East Tremont? What race was he? I bet he was Dominican. You can't trust Dominicans. They're all money hungry mother. I'm like, yo, like, god damn, bro. It's fine. Jesus Christ.
Like, but Dad's Dominican. Can't trust that man.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy. I don't know why. I always say white people, they think they're racist. They don't know what fucking racists
They don't know what that shit is, man.
But yeah, so I did this joke about the Muslim ban, and then I made direct eye contact with the lady in a hijab, and she gave me the look. You know the look that your mom gives you when you fucked up, but there's guests around, so she can't kick your ass.
She's not gonna beat your ass yet. Yeah,
but you know that.
You know that shit is coming. Yeah. You're afraid to take a shower?
Dude, you're afraid to go anywhere where there's nobody.
Yeah.
But she gave me that look. And then on stage, I guess like all this trauma from as a kid, I just locked up. And I was like, and then I just stopped speaking.
Oh no.
And then I looked around and I couldn't find my words. And then I started going, I'm bombing.
Oh no.
And then you hear this guy in the back go, "Oh shit, he called it a bomb. He gave it a name." And then, so I'm standing there for 1 full minute, dead silence.
Oh my God.
Everybody's like waiting for me to say something. And then I don't know why, but all of a sudden there's this guy in the corner, like this big fat Italian guy from like Long Island, and his name was Sal, or it looked like his name was Sal. You know when you see someone, you're like, that guy's definitely a Sal.
That guy's a Sal for sure.
And he goes, "You got this, kid. You make me laugh, bro." And I was like, all right. Yeah. And then it just clicked back into place, and I finished the set. But that was that, and I recovered and I did well. But that was probably the most traumatic bombing experience I've ever had.
Holy shit. Yeah. Now, that time in Jersey for me, like, it was like a movie. The room was dead silent. The entire 3.5 minutes I was up there, all I got from the crowd was a...
The cough.
The cough, dude. Ooh. I got the cough, bro. That's when I was like, yeah, I'm out of here, bro. Mm-hmm. And then like my friend Ariel, shout out to Ariel.
Yeah.
She gave me the phone flash. She was like, forget it. Don't do this to yourself. Like, imagine like a night where everybody killed, dude. Mm-hmm. And then people are waiting like, all right, like this lineup has been great. And then to close out the show, they get me.
Yeah. I'm sure it wasn't that bad. There's probably a reason they put you up last.
Probably.
Because, you always want to put the strongest one at the end. But that sucks. Bombs, they're the worst. But if you continue comedy, you actually learn from bombs.
Yeah.
But, obviously, you I'm assuming you felt like it wasn't your thing, so you didn't quite pursue it.
I just, to be honest, I just don't know. I don't know if I have the space, man. Like between the podcasting and the music and like the acting, I'm pursuing voice acting now. So like, so that's like so. But if and when I have the space for it, I'd love to try again.
Yeah, it's cathartic, but also you're doing so many other things. You're killing it in so many other areas.
Oh,
like,
thanks, man.
honestly, like why start something new when you're already killing at something already? So
Thank you.
But dude, we gotta wrap up. You got anything cool coming up anytime soon?
I mean, honestly, my main gig right now, and hopefully forever. I love the people I work with. I love the content we make. Is Victory Light right here? You know what I'm saying? Mets colors, Queens in the building. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm from the Bronx, so I'm a traitor to the Yankees empire. But you know what I'm saying? Shooting Victory Light, making Victory Light content. That's probably the most important thing I got going on right now. We are going to be at On Air Fest.
Sick.
Yeah, we're going to be at On Air Fest in Brooklyn. It is from the 19th, 20th, 21st, 19th, 20th. Yeah, it's from February 19th to the 21st. Tickets are still available, I believe, as the time of this recording. But if you go at onairfest.com, at checkout, if you use code VICTORY40, you can get tickets to see us at a super discounted rate, and they'll let you in an hour early if you use that code and you buy that ticket to see us on the 21st. But it is definitely worth seeing everyone at On Air Fest because we're gonna have some really dope folks up there, like like Kareem from Subway Takes.
Oh shit,
He's gonna be there. Okay. Yeah, obviously the Kid Mero, Victory Light, we're gonna be there.
Yeah.
And they booked the whole hotel, which is probably why if you go on that site right now as you're listening or watching, those ticket prices are outrageous. But that's why we put that code up. So use code VICTORY40 at checkout. Get it at a super discount while they're still available. If they are sold out by the time of this recording, I'm so sorry. But try and make it out anyway because it's going to be super fun.
We should go.
You have You have a show on the 15th?
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's right. Wait, when does this drop then?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
okay, good.
Thursday.
Okay. Okay. So I don't even know.
Yeah. So, and then also, if you want to see me perform some songs, some dark wave stuff, some goth stuff, the BX Emo Night is on February 15th this week, and it's gonna be super fun. I'm gonna perform some stuff. DJ Ultraviolet is gonna be there spinning. It's emo night, so it's gonna be like a lot of throwbacks, like from and the theme is prom night. So so it's gonna be super fun. It's at the Bronx Brewery, and I'll see you guys the 15th if you want to come to that.
Oh, that sounds so fun.
Yeah.
Damn it. I won't be here. But that sounds so
It's
damn
all good,
fun.
man. It's all good. There will be more shows, I promise. But yeah, thank you so much for having me, Raj, for real.
Yeah, dude, thank you so much for being here and making time for this. It's such a fun time chatting with you about all this stuff. But plugs. Hold on, before I forget, I got
Vacation?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I'm going to Hawaii tomorrow. And I'll be back on Sunday. I'm going for a shoot. I wish it was vacation, but it sucks. It's the worst thing in the world.
It's probably better that you're going for work and not a vacation because they have asked us not to support tourism in Hawaii.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So it's probably better
right.
that you're going for work. You know what I mean?
In that case, I specifically turned down the extra days they were offering me.
Yeah.
Almost set you up there.
But yes. So, but then when I come back, I think next weekend on the 21st, I'm doing a show at the Broadway Comedy Club. It's an all-Indian show. Got to represent the Browns. And then 22nd, I got a spot at QED. And but on February 15th, Saturday, I'm not going to be there because I'll be in Hawaii. But Holy Hand Grenade, my show in Brooklyn. It's a once a month comedy show. And
now you're competing with Rainey's gig.
Nah, man, fuck it. Listen, if you out here, if you in the BX, come show love. And where's your show gonna be?
PK.
You know what I'm saying? If you're in Brooklyn, go show love. It ain't, you know what I mean? It ain't no thing. There'll always be more shows. There'll always be more opportunities.
Just do both. Go to his show first. Come to mine.
Yeah.
Get some music in.
Exactly.
So then if you see some shitty comedy, you'll still get some good music in.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
But yeah, dude. It was such an awesome pod, dude. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my dog.
And would love to get you on another one soon. Yeah.
For sure, man. Yeah, I'm super with this. This is great energy, man. I appreciate it.
Heck yeah. Thanks, brother. And give it up for Eric, our pod producer.
Hell
I
yeah,
know
baby.
He asked for more screen time because he's trying to get some ladies.
I never said that.
Let the record reflect that
I never said that.
Just note to yourself when you text me something, nothing's in confidence. But yes, all right. It was awesome. Roger Gets the Machine, Rainey Ovalle, Eric Grisanti. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.
Bye.
Sweet.